The former Cabinet Minister, Mr. Patrick.
Howdy, dear. Her nails, isn't it?
Yes. Right. I think you spotted it when you did.
I didn't like the way she was tailing that leg.
Now put it down for regular treatment, Paddy. Once they develop ingrained toenails, the problem's there for good. How is she otherwise?
Oh, physically in great shape. But she's an odd sort, this Ruth. Doesn't mix much, you know. Always hanging about by the wires.
Tell me she's going to join the Baboons Escape Committee.
She's a zoo animal, Donald. She's not used to open spaces. She's marked out a cage area for herself, close to the wires, for her security, you see.
Just a minute. A delegation from the council, Mr. Bishop.
What about them?
Well, I think they're expected to see Mr. Turner.
Where is he then?
He's attending to one of the lions.
Well, then they'll have to wait, won't they?
But they're here now, Mr. Bishop, at the main gate, in fact.
Then they'll have to come back again later.
I'm sorry. Could you tell them that Mr. Turner is not available just at the moment? They do insist on seeing either you or Mr. Turner, I'm afraid.
Trust him to go skiving off at a time like this. What do they want, eh?
There have been some protest meetings held about the park.
Stirring things up, are they? We'll soon nip that in the bud.
You'll speak to them then?
Well, I'll have to, won't I?
All right, that'll do it. Yeah, Paddy, I want you to keep a good eye on that paw. The infection isn't too far advanced, but I think she's going to need another booster jab.
Aye, nasty. Very nasty. Yes, Riley here.
Is Mr. Turner there?
Yes, he's here.
Please tell him the nursing tiger has injured one of her cubs. The keeper saw some blood on its leg just now. Over.
Right. Trouble, Sunshine.
What?
That nursing tiger, Ronnie, has gone for one of his youngsters.
How bad?
Well, the keeper saw blood on one of the baby's legs.
Right, Paddy, I want you to get out there straight away and separate them. I'll join you as soon as I finish with her.
Right. Okay, sir.
Can't deny Manford Park's good for the community. What employment, trade.
Some might say you've also brought trouble, Mr. Bishop. Not all were in favour of this enterprise, you know.
Ah, some were. Now, if you're speaking on their behalf, then I'll listen.
What about the noise, Mr. Bishop? I mean, these wild beasts of yours are howling and caterwauling all hours of the day and night. I tell you straight, they're putting my dairy herd off their milk.
We're all for live and let live round here, you know, Mr. Bishop. It's just some of our old folk. I mean, they're petrified.
The fact is, Mr. Bishop, this park of yours is already swarming with dangerous animals, and now we hear there are more to come.
I told you we've got fully qualified staff here. Anyway, this was all fleshed out at the public inquiry.
Oh, but we didn't
I'm telling you, there's no danger. Not to our visitors, and especially not to the local community.
We accept your good intentions, Mr. Bishop, but things do go wrong. Mistakes are made.
Mistakes that could have dreadful consequences. Our infant school's just outside this park.
And my dairy herd. 2 lifetimes it's taken to build up. What's to be done if your wild beasts get among them? That's what I'd like to know.
It's our people we're on about here. Folk will want to sleep quiet at night without your blooming King Kongs bursting in
Look,
on them.
Manfred Park is here to stay. There's no going back on it now. It's up to all of us to see that things run smoothly. Now, I can understand your worries, but don't take my word on what we're doing here to keep people safe. Come and see for yourselves.
I was in no danger, you know.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I do have some experience of large carnivores, actually.
Now, you listen to me. There are signs all along the paths to these enclosures. They're put there to warn visitors to stay in their cars. And to stop bloody fools like you from getting themselves killed.
I told you. I've studied these animals in their natural state, and there's
Oh,
absolutely...
an expert, are you?
Since you ask, yes. And I do know that where animals like these are concerned, the only thing to fear is fear itself.
I'm giving you fair warning. You try something like that again and you'll have me to deal with. Is that understood? If you survive, that is.
I always thought that Rani was developing into a responsible man.
What's her first litter? You can never be sure with unproven mothers. Well, keep her steady if you can. Easy now, little girl. Ah, good girl, my goodness.
Thank goodness the bone wasn't damaged. Yes, all right. Yes, I know.
She's not going to be able to go back with Mum now. Which will mean hand-rearing. At this age, that's a job for a fully qualified insomniac.
Ah, there you are.
Oh, hello, Ben.
Don't hello me, young man. Thanks to you, I've just had a load of village nitpickers breathing down my neck all morning.
You're so much better at it than I am.
Look, I don't pay my manager to go missing when ratbags like that come round pestering.
Look, a mutilated tiger cub, a lioness with ingrowing toenails, not perhaps the job for your manager, but certainly the job for your chief vet, which I also happen to be. Tuck her up, Ethel.
All right, is you?
Yes. Just a flesh wound.
Mind you, we're going to have to keep her away from Rani, and keep a weather eye on those other cubs.
Look, Donald, I've got to talk to you about this council lot. They're after blood, I'm telling you.
We've not had any trouble with them so far.
We've had an easy ride so far, but now that we're in business, it's bound to cause trouble with the locals.
Why?
Why? Well, lions, tigers, apes, man-eating carnivores all ready to gobble up the locals.
Ben, that's absurd.
Not to them, Donald. Irrational it might be. We ignore it. It'll run us down like an express train. Believe me, I felt it whistling past my ear just now.
Ben, safety is top of the list here, top of my list anyway. And look at the quality of the staff.
But that's not the point. We've got to keep the locals sweet. You know, we need their cooperation for when we expand. How do we do it?
I'm surprised at you. You're losing your touch. The answer is right here in Manford. Who around here knows more than any of us about how the locals think?
I am.
Oh, hello.
Busy?
Very. Never too busy to chat at the boss.
Good. Thought you might fancy a drink later.
Early later or much later?
Ah, after supper.
Sorry, I've got a date.
A date?
Yes, you know. Man calls, collects girl, they drive off.
You've got a date?
Exciting, isn't it?
Suppose so.
Free tomorrow night, then?
No, it was just a thought.
Sorry.
No, I just didn't think, that's all.
But I might have a life of my own.